Alrighty, guys, we are back. It's your boy EQ, and up next we have Joe Budden speaks on Kendrick Lamar album, GNX, dissing Lil Wayne, and warns Drake to drop Future. Shout out to Chick Smooth for the video, and I'm pretty sure that's due to that Future interview where he basically was trolling the whole time. I really think that man really doesn't take anything seriously other than when he feels he's being disrespected, in which he turns into a very sensitive rapper. Wayne has already responded to being called out by Kendrick Lamar. If it's not in this video, I will be going over it at the end. We'll actually go over to his X account and see the tweet that he posted himself, which is crazy. The dude seems like he's ready for the smoke or wants the smoke from Kendrick. Obviously, with the run Kendrick's been on this year, a historical run, this album was destined to be highly anticipated. And while I do believe another album is coming out, it still doesn't negate the fact that this is having a huge impact when waves are getting sent through the internet and the industry. So enough dilly-dallying, let's jump right into the video. Again, it's entitled Joe Budden speaks on Kendrick Lamar album, GNX, dissing Lil Wayne, and warns Drake to drop Future. I feel like even with Future trolling in that interview, Drake would spin the block in a heartbeat to go collab with Future again. Remember the good old times.
In the middle of recording Friday's episode of the podcast, Kendrick Lamar dropped his new project, GNX. And Joe Budden and crew decided to focus on this album, moving any other topics for later.
Of course, this is going to be the hottest news story for the week. And usually when something drops, it's usually right after they have recorded the pod and it's been posted. So they generally miss out on that initial engagement.
So today we're going to cover everything. How excited they were to listen to the Reincarnated song that channeled Tupac. How much they think Kendrick will sell first week as opposed to his previous albums. How forgiving exactly are Canadians? They discuss if Drake should even forgive Future and Metro, no matter what they're saying nowadays. And then Ice talks about how he received a text saying that this is not the end of the music coming from Kendrick Lamar. This may be an album.
Of course not. I was talking with the homie and he made the point. The Heart series of records doesn't ever make it onto the main album, so that's almost a hint that this isn't the main project. And I know people are calling it a mixtape, but guys, this is a full-length album. Everything about this original beats, but I don't think it's the album. Because usually for his main albums, they are more conceptualized. There is a theme from beginning to end. There's a story that he tells. I don't think that was that, but I do think that album definitely did tear down a lot of narratives that people were erroneously putting on Kendrick. The fact that he couldn't make hits, he filled the whole album up with hits. And the fact that he didn't put any West Coast artists on. And guys, we all saw the pop-out show. It's exactly what he did. He could have took that platform for himself, honestly, did the whole set of just his music and been great. Brought out all the big features he's had because he's had tons of them. And the show would have been amazing without the West Coast guys. So the fact that he did it shows to me how much he does care for like the West Coast scene and West Coast hip-hop and the culture. And he cemented that further with this album by proving, yeah, man, here are the features that everyone was saying he wouldn't give to people. I honestly love the album from beginning to end. It's really, really dope. We're going to be screaming mustard for a very long time, but I still expect a more traditional Kendrick album.
But this isn't the album. And the guys would then respond to that. What's up, y'all? It's your man Talkers World reporting for the Chick Smooth channel. We got to talk about this. When the pod played Reincarnated, everyone could barely control themselves. Out of all of the songs, it seems like the pod really enjoyed.
Because it's Pac, that would definitely be in their demo.
This one, they talk about how this is one of the Pac songs that isn't the most popular, but will still ring off. Joe would even call it West Coast dog whistling, because having anything from the Death Row catalog is bound to excite the West Coast.
I just want to let y'all know that it's a 12-track album, and Reincarnated is track 6. Just to show you his efficiency.
Yeah. No, it's the dope shit. He really went and got some shit that we don't even really be thinking about out of Pac's catalog.
Well, usually people, when they sample, they go for the most obvious. And it's going to be a hit just because of nostalgia. But to go and do a record like a B-side and to execute it, to me, that's doper than just going for the obvious. And even like redoing something like a Hail Mary, which is dope. But yeah, man, it's almost like we expect somebody to go and flip that. So I think it's dope the route he took.
A lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody hear that song before.
Everyone wants to go
That's a
grab
fact.
the Hail Mary or something. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
That's a
But
soundtrack.
more
cut.
West Coast dog whistling, like when you say the niggas, not.
I mean, that whole album was an ode to the West Coast, fam. So yeah, it fits in perfectly with the sequencing.
Them out there, you pull up anything from that Death Row catalog and they going, I'm impressed.
Word.
I'm impressed.
tight.
I think that was
I'm impressed. I'm
gang-related
tight
soundtrack.
that I'm at work, but I'm happy I'm at work.
Facts. Nah, it's fun.
That's a deep cut.
End of November, before Thanksgiving, before Friendsgiving, before Christmas,
I love it.
before New Year's.
I love a Thanksgiving.
And then they moved to album sales. They say if Tyler did 300K first week, Kendrick might outsell Damn, which sold 603K first.
My safe estimate was 500K, but I said I wouldn't be surprised if this neared 700K, man. The run he's been having and the buzz he's like kept this whole year, because everyone thought that Not Like Us would fade out. Everyone kind of thought all this would fizzle out and Drake would be back to being Drake by the fall. And we haven't seen that. The one thing that I might expect is Drake might try to go and try to stomp on this by releasing something. He didn't release anything in like October. Party Next Door album, I already saw comments under some of my videos that they should scrap that album until next year. And honestly, if you're dropping something and you don't feel it's to that caliber, just don't drop it, because they're going to directly compare it to GNX, you know what I mean? So you want to be a little more tactful when it comes to releasing stuff.
First week. Even Ish says he likes the album, saying he likes all the songs except one. And that even though Tyler did amazing with 300,000 the first week, Kendrick might do 300,000 the first day.
Fam, he might do 300,000 today.
He might.
Today.
He might.
Do we have this being his highest selling first week?
What's
his
yes.
first week?
Damn was high.
Damn was the
6
one.
something.
Damn was 6 something.
He beat 6 something. No, he don't beat Damn. I got 50.
He might beat.
I got 50.
It's obviously all we're doing right now is speculation, but he's a lot hotter now than when Damn came out. Damn was an impeccable album, but the amount of people listening to Kendrick has definitely increased this year. He's got a lot of people that are basically discovering him for like the first time, which is crazy, other than like his big radio hits. But I can definitely say his platform has definitely increased.
What's your bet?
$50. He beats $50. He beats Damn. He don't beat Damn. It's gonna be Damn had hit single first week. I'm talking about first week. First week. Damn was what, 6 and change?
Surprise drop done the right way could be effective.
Listen, if Tyler did 3 off a fucking surprise drop, Kendrick is doing 6.
I can't. Okay. Jump on. The album ain't been out an hour. Jump on Twitter right now.
I know you want to go on Twitter right now.
I'm purposely not going in my phone.
Touching my phone.
Well, yeah, man. The conversation is being dominated right now by this album and anything that surrounds this album.
Right now. He's going to do 300,000 units maybe today.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm dead.
I think I'm with
He might do that today.
Yeah.
Yo,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Shout out to Tyler.
Yeah, salute.
Super impressive.
Amazing
An
album.
awesome album, yeah.
But I mean, Kendrick is Kendrick. If Tyler did the
Not
3,
just that, yo. It's everything surrounding all
Exactly.
of the Drake shit. His whole summer has been his.
Yeah.
He still maintained a certain level of mysticism even throughout all of the bullshit. And then he just throws a fucking album out. 2 #1 songs.
Yeah.
An album that sounds
Within
amazing.
6 months. Yeah.
Of course, and it slaps from beginning to end. There's people that are even going to be hate listening 2, 3, 4 times just to see if they catch anything that they can use against Kendrick, you know? So this thing is going to rack up sales. I would not be shocked if it got close to 700K.
Super Bowl announcement.
announcement.
Nah, he's gonna do something stupid. He's gonna do something stupid.
Dog.
He's going to drop another album right
And
before
slaps
that.
on here.
Yeah.
Like this shit ain't even Ish is
I didn't like
into
one
this
song.
shit.
I only just didn't like one song. But everything else sounds amazing.
this is a
That's a great album, if I say
lot of
so.
longevity, like a lot of life on the project.
This,
This is gonna go way.
Yeah, this
past.
sounds like a real
Now
album.
they tried to play with him with his last album, like it came.
It's crazy because I do echo Joe's sentiment. I do think this will live on for quite a bit. But Ak was basically saying that this album would not be talked about within a month. I don't think that's going to be the case. There's a lot of records here that are going to get a lot of spins, so I definitely see this living on way longer than Academics thinks.
Came and went.
He also
Even I
thought
think
Not Like
Cole
Us
said
was
that,
going to go in
maybe
and
said
out.
that on
Pause.
something like
He did
that.
something like
That was the that was the rumblings. Not with this one.
Yeah,
this one
this is
also-
here.
This sound like good music.
No, this
great.
might.
You ain't
music.
even really get a chance to jump into the lyrics yet, and you just this sounds like good
Yeah.
music.
Yeah,
sonically.
facts.
You know that'd be my knock.
And they only scratched the surface. If I'm not mistaken, I think they only went to like the first 45 seconds, 50 seconds of each record. So they haven't even really sat down with it and digested it. Obviously, they understood the impact this was going to have. So you stop what you're doing and you talk about it and you analyze it because you don't want to miss that initial engagement. But yeah, man, once they sit down with it, once they're able to digest it properly, fam, they're probably going to love the project even more, which is saying a lot because it already seems like they thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
He had some of that on the last album, but again, like I said, last album was just too much.
You know, that'd be
It was too much going on. This is short,
Like, you
concise.
could ride to this.
45 minutes. Whew, that's the perfect album.
For Ice, if it ain't Jeezy or Shoot 'em Up music,
set the bar
he's not interested.
For the whole entire 2025.
Yeah.
And we're not even there yet.
He called out 2025. Well, that's because he obviously sees this album living on. You know what I mean? He's like, you don't want to put 2024 on a project and date it prematurely. You know what I mean? You want to go and shout out 2025 because this album will live on. This album, contrary to what Ak is saying, will have a healthy shelf life.
That little short, cryptic mother. Why did y'all go calling that nigga short?
Now the crew tries to figure out how Drake should move and feel towards Future. And
The thing is, man, the short jokes, the small sneaker jokes, stuff like that, that's stuff that Kendrick probably has heard since he was a child. So when you hear the same things, you've almost built up like a backlog of comebacks and responses and reactions. You know what I mean? Because you've heard it all. By the time you're 16, you've heard it all. So for people to go and call those things out, they were going to be ineffective from the jump.
Metro Boomin, since the rap war started on their album, it tries to explain what a friend is. And they debate whether working with someone means that they're friends. Do you have to be friends with somebody to work with them?
Even if it is
No.
disingenuous.
And we don't know how.
exactly.
And again, like we don't know how dude feel. Like
You know how Drake feel.
yeah, Drake has really been on his all you niggas shit. So this could be their attempt of trying to.
Nah, he didn't never
Not
do
Future,
that to Future.
Future. No,
He
not
told,
Future.
he said from day one,
I never had a problem with
dog,
him.
man,
We
you ain't
never
never had no problem. What the fuck are you doing?
He walked very gingerly around addressing Future. He was almost more disappointed at Future than actually mad. That's why I do see their friendship as probably the easiest to mend after the beef. And obviously Metro has kind of walked back some of his statements. Future is a master troll. The guy gives sensational interviews. I didn't expect anything other than what we received from him. Like maybe for like a second, I was like, all right, let's see what he really has to say. But as soon as I read that first sentence, I knew what was up, fam.
Said that from day one.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If I'm Drake, it's up for life.
Forever.
Forever and ever and ever. I'm
Ever.
never working with none of you.
None of
Now,
you.
I don't think that's gonna
Each
happen.
and every one of y'all.
I wouldn't. You know me, bro. Bro, what? And I'm a B up.
I got 40 and Boy Wonder right here. We good.
We
Look,
are good.
I'm
Fuck
a
y'all.
B up.
You can say whatever you want. If I'm Drake, yeah, Future, I never had no problem with you.
Yeah, I do with Future.
But this shit started on your album. You and Metro's album.
1000%.
And you
Well, it didn't start on this album. Kendrick and Drake have had friction for the better part of a decade. So it was almost inevitable. But to say that this didn't lit the fuse, you'd honestly be crazy to think that.
Cleared it.
And you cleared it. You heard that verse. You let it go out. So yeah, I can see why Future would be doing some
100%.
damage control
I
right
said that
now.
in my last reaction.
If I'm Drake, it's up with you too.
And if I'm Drake and you hit, let's just say they friends, like genuinely friends, for the sake of the conversation. If they genuinely friends, and I come to you and be like, dog, you're my friend. Would I ever let somebody do that to you on an album that I was doing? Now you sitting there with the fucking stale face, like, you right, like you right.
It's funny because Ish is saying that sitting right across from Joe. And Joe is silent because he definitely would, man. Obviously, he's capital C-O-E. The dude is content over everything. He's already said that he doesn't value his friendships. And he's said it in some very wild ways, man.
Dog.
Meh. I think time heals all wounds.
Yeah,
kind
okay.
of situation. I do.
Yeah,
I do. I think
You might
that
have stabbed enough niggas. I'm
Sometimes-
not doing that.
Sometimes time wounds all heals. So
Yeah, that's
you
facts.
good.
Letting quote.
That's true. Sometimes more resentment builds up over time.
Boy, you good.
okay.
Then they get into if we've received enough music already to where the relationship between Drake and Future doesn't even need to be rekindled anymore. Melissa thinks Drake will eventually forgive and move forward, but Ice and Ish think there's no need to make up. The rap war started on Future and Metro's album. If that friendship was so important, it would have still been important when it was time to clear that Kendrick verse.
I think people need to make the distinction between friends and industry friends. Two totally different things, man. People work with you in the industry and they build these relationships because you're useful. Once you're useless, get prepared to be left on red, fam.
I got the slaps already. I don't care if they all piece it up.
Yeah, that's more. There's more to be done.
If they want to piece it up, piece it up. I'm cool. I'm done. It happened. It's over with. The impact was the impact. If y'all want to piece it up and make songs,
Bro,
cool. We got the Kendrick album now. Like it's over. It's
If
done.
I,
It's
if
done.
I never get another Drake and Future record again, I'm okay. I got
Me
a
too.
whole album of it. I got a bunch of singles of it. Like, I'm cool.
As a selfish fan, I'm cool either way. They piece it up,
bro.
great. They don't, great.
I would like more slaps from the two of them.
No, I would like it, but I'm just saying, if it never happens, it's not like it's not the end of the world.
That's what I was saying. Is like as time goes on, memory fades, and people are just going to harken back to like the really good times and be like, we could set our swords aside and just
sometimes, bro.
Get back to the slaps.
Sometimes you open.
That's not always the case. Sometimes resentment lasts until their last dying breath.
A step, and ain't no coming back from that. I don't care how much time passes.
In real friendship,
some shit happens, and we can't come back from that. Like, I'm not mad. Like,
even if
like
there's
people say,
millions and millions.
But I think because Drake and Future are so similar, they just displayed in different ways. They're probably the two most sensitive guys in rap. That I could see them eventually like piecing it up, but it could also work against their favor and they just grow their resentment even further. But who knows? Time will tell.
Millions of dollars.
I got billions.
I think Drake would spin the block.
Or billion, whatever the case may
when you
be.
start putting money into
about
it,
money.
it's not about the friendship no more.
I mean, sometimes you look at the greater good of the situation, and it's not like you welcome them back into the fold like with open arms, but it's just like,
well, they do a record, they may not be friends.
I don't gotta like you to work with you and make money with you.
That's when you're not up. That's when somebody's not up. We might need to do this.
No. For Drake, it's not even about being up because, like you say, he's a billionaire. It's about boredom.
The thing is, all the money in the world sometimes doesn't satisfy a lot of these people because they have an addiction to the clout, to the fame. They want to remain relevant. That's why you can have people that have amassed great fortunes because of their art and their music, but they'll totally crash out and embarrass themselves just to remain relevant and pull off any antics they could think of to just be talked about again.
Mel.
It's about.
Let me look
to
at
that
it from Drake's
dopamine.
perspective. I've ran hip hop for well over a decade.
These people want to stay there.
My run, even if people say the music was suffering, whatever, my run was still my run. All the newer acts, the Sexy Reds, all of that, I'm still him.
Attached to them.
Right. My downfall, if you want to
You got to use a better example because some of those artists are definitely fading away.
call it that, or my trajectory changed all because of this. Everybody that played a part in this, it's up for you niggas. Like, I'm not mad at him when we talked about the DeMar DeRozan shit. I'm not mad at that. It is up for y'all.
It
I
just
thought I
looked
went back
corny.
and watched the Pop Out show again, and because I remember we talked about Tyler having Mustard at his set and what Mustard did. Mustard brought Tyler out at the pop up.
He did.
So at the pop out. So yeah, even that, it's like, okay, I'm looking at all of y'all away, all of you niggas.
If you enjoyed the project by Kendrick Lamar, do you think this was an album or just a mix?
Of course it's an album, but we're more than likely going to get another album that's more in the style we're used to. We're going to get a concept album, something with a theme, with a story. So while this GNX album is obviously having a huge impact, I mean, it's the first project dropped after the beef, so obviously all eyes were going to be on that project. Like I said, going over it with a fine-tooth comb. But I do still believe we're going to get another project. If those Taylor Swift rumors are correct, then I just think this was like a placeholder album to get us to like around February when we're probably going to get that other album. And if we do get that album with the features that are allegedly like slated for it, would you guys be surprised if we actually saw a platinum selling week? I would not. I think this album could potentially hit 700K, and the more we speak about it, the more it's out in the ethos, the more people are going to be curious to see. If they haven't already heard it, are they going to go and check it out? I feel like Kendrick this year really did increase his platform by a lot, and that's saying a lot because the dude is one of the premier acts, not just in hip-hop, but period. So none of these numbers shock me at all, man.
Mixtape, because Ice will reveal that he was texted by someone from the West Coast saying this wasn't even the album, just an
album.
Do you think GNX was a warning or just a mixtape? Or do you think this was the album and we shouldn't expect to see Kendrick?
Nah, this was to keep the momentum going. This was like, yo, we've done a great job at remaining relevant the whole year. Let's not have this fizzle out right before we get to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Let's finish strong. So I really do see another album coming, and this was the perfect placeholder album because it killed a few narratives. He hit him with the radio bops, definitely very West Coast centric and not confined to any one era. I mean, we saw everything from we heard everything from G-Funk era, like West Coast beats all the way up to the new Mustard sound. So it definitely has some variety. And on top of that, he had a lot of West Coast features on there. which is another narrative that people were running with. They were saying that he was kind of using people. The dude has definitely showed the West Coast a lot of love, and he's putting on for a lot of people, man. But I think some people choose what they want to see. It's almost like confirmation bias. Evidence you want to back up your claims is somewhere on the internet, even if it's false.
Drake until the Super Bowl.
Ice, you saying you saw an interesting tweet from some of the West Coast niggas talking about?
Oh, he said he got
I ain't say a
a
tweet. I got a
text?
text message.
Oh, okay.
That said, this ain't even the album. I don't know what that means. Where if it's
Might be a double.
yeah, it could be something else coming, or he was working on something else. This ain't that. This could be a teaser, an appetizer. I don't know.
Man, this is a fucking album.
No. This ain't the album.
That's gonna drop around.
Another album is definitely coming.
Could be.
Could have
he has
7 more
something
songs.
bigger. Pause coming. This ain't that. I don't. When the cryptic shit start, I just be like, all right, peace.
Yeah, it's been a year of cryptic shit.
Yeah, like all right, y'all got it. But this
I don't
ain't
think
the
it's
album.
really that cryptic.
All right.
Maybe not.
Yeah, but let's entertain it for a little bit because that's what we do.
Oh, you know how some artists will drop the mixtape first and then the album come later?
Yeah, I
Meaning
get
the
that.
album. That's all.
I get that, and it always sounds cheap. This sounds.
What has he ever done that sound?
You're kind of lessening the importance of this project by not calling it the album. It's a great project, you know what I mean? But obviously we're gonna get something that is in line more with what he does usually. We're gonna get an album that has a story interwoven into it.
Sounded cheap.
Him, nothing.
So this wouldn't apply there anyway.
Could he possibly drop?
He had
another album?
throwaways that didn't sound
I
cheap.
do think that he did a lot more work than 45 minutes of music.
Of course, he's been in
I
album
believe
mode
that.
the whole year.
But ready to release?
Why not?
Yes.
Nigga, I've been quiet and
He
gearing
don't
up.
come outside.
Y'all don't know what he could have.
I mean,
3 more
I
albums.
come outside, but
J. Cole's. I mean,
I said it in my last reaction as well. I'm pretty sure this guy has 2, maybe 3 more albums worth of material that is releasable, not including the stuff that probably are just demos waiting to be finished.
it was in a rap, but J. Cole said, "I'm fully loaded. I could drop 3 classics right now, or 2 classics, whatever he said." So some of these dudes have works
Of
in the
course.
stash that could go. That could be him saying that about this. He got something else coming.
and he don't seem to be the most social nigga.
Yeah,
So I'm in the studio. He might be a studio rat.
I'm pretty sure he is.
And he
You know
is
what
the
I'm saying?
studio rat.
Yo, what if he drops like
After the Drake shit, I'm sure every producer and their mother was throwing them beats.
Nigga, not just that. We just saw when Future and Metro dropped, We Don't Trust You. We didn't know they was coming right back with We Still Don't Trust You.
Future dropped 3 full-length projects. Scratch that. Double-length projects, you know what I mean? He dropped double disc, which I know don't mean a lot because everything is digital now. But yeah, man, the dude dropped basically 5 albums worth of songs this year. So yeah, Kendrick could definitely do it. It's another narrative that people are running with that, oh yeah, he can't be prolific because he can't make the material in time. Like, nah, fam, if he wanted to, he could. At the end of the day, we can't tell an artist how to create. We can't tell a creator how to create. We can have opinions, but we can't dictate how they go about their work.
Yeah, true.
He could come back with another joint. He did a double album. Okay, I'm not going to give you the double at the same time. I'm going to give you this one. And then in a couple weeks or whatever the case may be, now I'm going to give you the other one.
all before Super Bowl, or maybe we'll save the other one for Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think it might.
No way to tell.
I definitely think it's going to be closer to February. You kind of want to let this live. It's definitely going to keep the momentum going. And yeah, if you drop, let's just say late January, now you have this project that's fresh in people's minds. You have to give the public some time with it because I do feel like, yeah, man, you're going to want to hear the crowd singing this at the top of their lungs. He already has a bunch of records that people will go crazy over. But yeah, if you really want to perform any of that new stuff, you kind of want to have them have some time to digest it so they at the very least know the records when they come up. Even the biggest of artists sometimes have a little trouble with just debuting songs for the first time at shows. They don't know it. They don't really have any attachment to it just yet. And while it may go over well for the Super Bowl, I don't think that's the game plan you want to run with.
Oh, what's in this?
You can never tell.
This 5'6" nigga's brain. Yo.
His album tried to move past the rap war, this being the first album post-war. But do you think this was just bait, and that if Drake or Lil Wayne respond, the rap war will be back on and popping? Let me know in the comment section what you...
Well, of course, all it takes is one wrong comment for it to ignite all over again. Kendrick obviously stated in the album that he's not the type to piece it up. So if anyone does want some smoke, Kendrick is standing on business. And as far as Wayne obviously felt some type of way about being called out. I don't think Kendrick was dissing Wayne at all. He was just voicing his disappointment. He basically said how much of a fan he was by saying how much he rocked with the Carter 3 and basically just saying he was disappointed. As with Snoop, Snoop just responded in a better way. He obviously played along with it and said, yeah, it was the edibles, you know? How on brand, man. We love Snoop. We're not gonna judge him for what he said, you know? And I think at the end of the day, he really does have a lot of love for Kendrick. I mean, the dude did pass the torch to Kendrick and called him the king of the West Coast. So I do think their connection is a lot more solid. I just think he got excited when he heard that somebody used his likeness in a record, especially in a record that big during probably the biggest beef ever in hip hop. But yeah, Wayne reacted and it seems like he's taking some offense to it. So let's jump over to Wheezy's X account. All right, here's the post. It was posted 1:08 a.m. this morning. It's always hilarious reading a gang member's writing because they're always omitting certain letters because of obvious reasons. But he goes on to say, man, what the F I do? I just be chilling and they still come for my head. Let's not take this kindness for weakness. Let this giant sleep. I beg you all. No one really wants destruction, not even me, but I shall destroy if disturbed. On me, love. Yeah, man. Obviously, this kind of gives off like Mike Tyson vibes after Jake Paul. And I don't want to compare Jake Paul and Kendrick. I honestly think Kendrick is more along the lines of a young Floyd Mayweather, but we all saw the Tyson versus Paul fight. So I don't know how well it goes for Wayne now. Maybe 15 years ago, the story is different. But Kendrick right now seems like he's on an unstoppable run. So I don't know if you want that smoke. And honestly, I love Wayne, one of my favorite rappers. But he hasn't always done the best with beefs. We all heard the records between Clips and Wayne. And Wayne didn't necessarily shine in there. Obviously, the internet is going to be the internet. We all love Wayne, but I know the comments are definitely going to have something to say about this. And the comments got to be crazy on this statement. All right, we have over here, chill, Wayne. I don't want Kenny to smoke you. You a legend. It's almost like, yo, we're trying to protect you from yourself. You said the Super Bowl was taken from you when it wasn't promised in the first place, and it never congratulated the artist who looked up to you and worked hard for himself to get it. But now it's what the F I do. You did go on and address it. I think when it came to Lil Wayne's aspirations of actually doing the show, I'm pretty sure they probably told him he was on the short list of people to do it. And they were probably looking at him seriously. But with the year Kendrick is having, it'd be dumb for you not to choose him, especially when it is all about ratings. At the end of the day, the Super Bowl is entertainment and is honestly run by advertisers. So you want to book people that are going to generate the most eyes. All right, next comment. Bye. Why are you acting like you didn't make a whole vid crying about the Super Bowl and Kendrick didn't even dish you? That's true. This is like facing who farted allegations at school. He didn't even diss you like that. No let people gas you up for a diss. Stay a legend. Grammar is terrible there. With all due respect, Wayne, you're gifted at many things, but beef has never been your strong suit in rap. You've had some good one-liners. No, he's had some awesome punchlines and some terrible punchlines, but he's had some amazing punchlines as well. But that won't be enough here. Kendrick addressed the SB snub. Just let it end there, legend. Kendrick is in crash out mode. Yeah, man. If we all heard whacked out murals, I could have told you that, man. The dude's tone definitely gave off. I'm ready to crash out on anybody. Destruction, don't act like we forgot that Pusha T diss. There's way too much disrespect to Wayne in these comments below. And the thing is, man, when you're a public figure and you put yourself out there, expect not only praise, but criticism if they feel like there's something that you should be criticized for. It's honestly part of the game. Used to bump the Carter 3. I held my rolly chain proud. Irony. I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. Yeah, man. To me, he's just stating how much of a fan he was and how he's disappointed. Kendrick done woke Wayne up. It's about to get uglier than Ken Barbie. That's wild. Yeah, it's not a diss, guys. But yeah, man, obviously everyone's going to have something to say. This is definitely the biggest story. This album has been making a huge impact. And I think it's going to continue on for some time because people are going to keep dissecting the project. I do think another album is coming. If I were to guess, if I were to make an educated guess, I would say closer to February, maybe late January, right before the Super Bowl. I still think you have to give the album some time for people to digest it. So when you like perform it for the first time, the crowd is singing it word for word, and it makes the impact even greater. But yeah, man, definitely let me know what you guys think about Lil Wayne's response. Do you guys think he should have even responded at all? Do you think Kendrick was really dissing them? So definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders. I want to thank you guys again for watching. You guys are freaking amazing. I'm definitely looking forward to what you guys have to say on this stuff. And yeah, man, Hope you guys love the video, and I hope to see you guys soon. Wayne, I love you, man, but I don't know if right now you're in like the shape to go toe to toe with Kendrick. And honestly, like the comments are saying, you don't really do great with beef. Pause.